I'm about to share with you guys some more proof that we've been given a false reality. But before I do, I wanted to tell you the story behind this footage, who it came from, and how awesome the Father is with the way He just works things out and surprises you with things. And this all happened a couple days ago at a local Biblical Earth meetup where I had planned on going to see some of the familiar faces from the last time we met up, and hopefully a couple of you guys that were going to come and attend this as well. And one of the speakers that showed up was someone that I had seen on YouTube before and did not expect to see here. I'd seen his testimony. His channel is called Dr. Lee, and he's got a really cool testimony. He's ex-military, super humble, truth seeker, and just one of a kind. And I saw him when he was in there, just thinking he was, one of the locals. And when I saw his face and saw him start to speak, I started thinking, this looks like someone I've seen on YouTube before. And of course, me and my brother sitting there pulled out our phones, looked it up, and said, that's him. That's Dr. Lee. And he gave his testimony again, and it was really cool to see it in person and to meet him. And I encourage all of you who are not subscribed to him or never heard of him to go and subscribe. He's really into exposing the truth about the Father and His glory. And again, he's just a super humble, awesome guy, great to fellowship with. So I encourage you to go over there and subscribe to his channel and join his ministry right now or after the video, but just don't forget to do that. So to get back to my story, we were having the meetup and I was fellowshipping with Mr. Lee and his friend Dave, the one who invited him in the first place. And he was invited to this little small meetup, and he drove over 8.5 hours just to come here and fellowship. That's just how awesome the Father is at uniting all of us, and it's so great to see people doing stuff like this. It's something that I'm not used to. But as I'm fellowshipping with these guys, I'm learning about their adventures earlier that day. They just happened to go to a particular mountain, and this mountain is called Lookout Mountain, and it's famous for a really cool reason. You can see 7 states from this location, and it's been documented throughout history, especially back before the Industrial Revolution when the air was a lot cleaner and you can see a lot further. But people have seen 7 states. Sounds like a lot and impossible on a globe. So as we're discussing this, Dave goes, I don't think I've ever seen a video about this topic. And I thought, neither have I. And then Mr. Lee says, well, I have footage of this. And Dave was showing us on the map where Lookout Mountain is and how these states are arranged and how it was possible. And I love the way you make videos, so I would like to give you this footage. And he hands me his SD card and says, I want you to work your magic and do a video about this, put it all together. And I was just so honored, like, wow, he went up there and recorded this footage and he's trusted me with it, and we just met in person. So it's so cool how the Father works, and it got me investigating as soon as I got home. But before I share my results, I'm going to let Dave show you where Lookout Mountain is located in relation to the 7 states that you were able to see. So here's Dave on top of Lookout Mountain.
Chattanooga's roughly about right here. So on a clear day, you can see Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, and of course Tennessee.
Wow.
Now tell me how that happens on the book.
That's right.
Thanks, Dave. So that's how they look on a map. And I wanted to cut to the chase and jump to the furthest distances on the map, and the furthest was Kentucky and Virginia at 120 miles. At least that's what they had back in the day. This is a really old painting on this rock here, but I did the math with that distance and the given elevation and got a hidden target height of 2,409 feet. But these numbers mean nothing unless you know the mountain range or mountains that have been spotted in the distance. And the mountain range that borders Kentucky and Virginia is known as Cumberland Gap, and its elevation just happens to be around 1,600 feet. So definitely should be hidden behind the curvature of the Earth from that elevation and that distance. But I wanted to double check that distance, make sure it was correct, and thought, maybe they're exaggerating the distance to make their park more famous. Surely they wouldn't put a biblical earth proof right there in broad daylight for everyone to see, and they should probably get shut down if this is the case. Well, I did the measurement myself on Google Maps and found out that the nearest point on Lookout Mountain, when measured and compared to the nearest point of Virginia, is a little bit more than 120 miles. It's 144 miles. And I did this multiple times to see if I could get it closer and closer to the smallest distance possible, because I'm sure back when they made those numbers, they weren't aware of the exact distance because they didn't have Google Maps. And who knows, Google Maps might be a little off, but it's probably not. It's around 144 miles is what I have here on Google Maps. You can check it yourself if you don't believe me. That's fine. Not going to be offended. It's better than being a troll and running away angry. But the distance of 144 miles, I wanted to calculate that. And I did, and got a distance, or a hidden target height, of over 4,700 feet. That's a big jump, because the highest part of Cumberland Gap should be 3,100 feet below the horizon. This here is another proof that we've been given a false reality. And it's right out there to where everyone can see it. Those numbers are still there. You can go look. Even using the numbers that are better for the globe, still prove that that curve is missing at this particular part of the world. And as you can see here, there's that atmosphere doing its thing. This was a sort of overcast day, not the best for viewing conditions. You're not seeing Cumberland Gap in this footage, but on a clear day, if we were to get someone like Jay Tolan out there with his infrared filter, we could probably see 8 states. This is super impressive. I want you guys to share this and go out there. If you live in that area, get out your P900s, your P1000s, telescopes. Start filming when it's good weather. I will do this myself in the near future, but I wanted to share this proof with you guys while we're still here and introduce you to D.R. Lee and his little ministry going on. Make it grow. Fellowship with this man. He's an awesome brother, and I'm so glad that I got to meet him. Thank you for coming to the meetup, brother. It was a major blessing to me. Very unexpected. I did not expect that. So cool to see familiar faces and the Father's hand at work in our lives with these little details that make the biggest difference in the end. So I hope you guys are doing good. Love you all. The Father loves you. You are a beloved creation of the Most High. Don't take that for granted. Spend time with Him. I need to do that as well. Not just talking to you guys. This is something that's very important in these last days. Major deception is around the corner. Do not be deceived by anyone.